Kelly Singh, hello. Welcome, Kelly Singh. Please leave a like to support the channel. Thank you. Mom of 4 boys. The Black Widow channel. Joseph Moore, welcome. The Bud Files and Melinda Elliott, welcome. Everybody is saying hello. Hello. Oh man, it was a hot day. Gonna be over 110 for a few days in North California. God bless you. James Ortiz, my friend, welcome. I haven't seen any of your food shorts in the in my recommendeds. You're one of those people that I have hit the bell so I get notifications when you release something. It hasn't been anything recently, so I guess you're on a starvation diet or you just start making shorts. Lordy, 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 lordy. Oh man, I'm blind. I've got to go get my eyes checked this month. Get new glasses. Get new equipment. Speaking of new equipment and such, I wanted to have old school style watch like my father used to wear. Of course, you know, he'd have watches that he had to basically wind. You know, he'd have to wind it. Didn't have a battery, it had it internally, he had to wind it periodically. And KP Heathen, welcome KP Heathen. But I did get a watch with a battery. I got a Smith & Wesson. Oh, got it in today. A Smith & Wesson. And it comes with 3 different wristbands. This one's a green. It has a tan. And it has, what's the other color? Is it blue or is it black? I think it's black. So it's got a black. It's got a tan. And it's got the green. I paid $32.41 textile and license from Amazon. They call it military style. It's also got the day of the month. So the day's 30th. I got it set for the 30th. You know, for $32.41. And I think I did well. Uncle Al, Die Bullfrog, 79. Little Lone Prepper. Welcome, Little Lone Prepper. Did you get your box, Mom? Rachel, did you get your box? Rachel was the 1,600 subscriber giveaway winner. Hot day. I have been working in that yard trying to get the front finished. I pretty much got the front finished. And hot day. Tomorrow's trash day. I feel sorry for those trash men. I've got 5 cans. 6 cans? 5 or 6 cans heavy of yard clippings in addition to my trash that they have to pick up. Now the machine picks up the trash can, but they have another truck that comes along. Somebody gets out and has to dump in the back. Old school, it has to dump the clippings. God bless them. I'm drinking coffee. This is Nescafe Dark Roast, the kind my friend Dave Yoda likes. I'm drinking it with French vanilla creamer, and I'll tell you, when I was outside working, I was drinking tons of water, cold water. This is like me after taking a bath and changing. You know, I've been resting for about an hour. It's like, ugh. So I'm looking. 5 in the, I think 5 or 6 in the house with 8 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel. It will be greatly appreciated. Yes, please hit the like button. It will help. It doesn't cost you anything. Does not cost anything to hit the like button. It's also a sign of manners. So let me go over statistics real fast before we get into our subject. I'm sitting at 1,609 subscribers. I was sitting at 1,609 subscribers last night. Hadn't picked up anybody today. 17.5K views. Watch times 531. Last live, 84 views. Current short that I released earlier today, 361 views. And my last video, which was Mama 4 Boys goodie box, she won the 1,600 subscriber, 59 views. If you haven't had a chance to go over and watch that video, please watch that video. Leave a like and a comment if you want to be in the running for my 1,700 subscriber goodie box. And I appreciate, Rachel, if you let me know when you did get your box. You should have got it Friday. So Hurricane Burl, that's the second storm of the year. Hurricane Burl is a Category 4 hurricane, which means its winds are over 135 miles an hour, and it is heading towards the Gulf of Mexico. It's way out there heading towards the Gulf of Mexico. And that's going to be a problem for somebody. That storm that we had before, the first one that was I think it was Arturo, it wasn't that bad. It was barely a tropical storm. It had like 45, 50 mile an hour winds. We get those when we have a bad rainstorm or when a bad front comes through. It gave us lots of nice rain, which basically had me doing yard work for the last week or so. But this one's going to do some damage to somebody. It really will. And with that said, the topic, I'm glad you received it. Don't worry about it. Sometimes I receive stuff from people and it's a month before I open it. Really, sometimes it is a month before I open it. I'm sitting with a Blue Eddy Model 70 power station that I haven't taken out of the box. I've had it sitting back there for months. I hadn't unboxed it. I've got other power stations which we use and for camping and everything. I am going to unbox it. It's going to be replacing the one that I have sitting here next to me. It's an upgrade. And when they have the Amazon Prime on the 16th and 17th, I will be looking to buy another 12-volt refrigerator freezer, and I will be looking to buy some 12-volt 100 amp hour lithium batteries. Bouge RV on July the 4th has a sale. A lot of places will have sales on July the 4th. Bouge RV will have a sale on July the 4th, and I'll be looking to see what I can get versus if I wait for Prime. Because I am planning on buying a Bouge RV 12-volt refrigerator freezer. Now, the lithium batteries will not be from Bouge RV, but they'll be what I can get based on what I know about quality and the brands and various things. Most everything, like those 12-volt 100 amp hour batteries, they're made in China. Different companies, you know. A lot of that stuff, it's the same company. They just rebrand the name. They just put different names on it. Belinda's Country Living. Welcome, Belinda. So, this afternoon, the night before last, I ran 6 live streams for different people. And I did not go back and indicate, hey, it was me, full replay and like number. I didn't do that last night. Didn't do that yesterday. Today I did that. So if you got a notification from me for a particular like number in a full replay, that was me from like 2 days ago. I didn't run a playlist last night, but I will run a playlist tonight. So getting to the topic for today, and we are 14 minutes into the live stream, 10 in the house, 9 likes. Getting to the topic for today, 5 survival myths that will kill you. 5 survival myths that will kill you. And the first one, a lot of people don't know much about it, but they talk about this wonder pill called Potassium Iodine. It's a tablet for radiation sickness. It blocks radioactive iodine in the thyroid. Doesn't prevent or cure radiation sickness. It does not. Always consult with your doctor before using. A lot of times they have runs on them. Something's going on, people are scared, and they buy them out. Some groups of people cannot take them due to age or medical conditions. You should always consult with your doctor before taking stuff. I saw some stuff about a study that was talking about vitamins. A long-term study on vitamins, 20 years. And they found no difference in a person who takes vitamins versus a person who doesn't take vitamins as far as how long they live in this study. Now, that's one study. I find nothing wrong with taking a multivitamin, you know, like a 1 a day or something, a multivitamin or a gummy or whatever. I have no issues with taking a vitamin. I have no issues with taking a low dosage 81 milligram aspirin for heart health. There's positive stuff about that. But the idea being, if we had some sort of incident, you really do not want to be someplace near where it happens, and you want to be sheltered for a couple of weeks. It takes a couple of weeks for the radiation and everything to dissipate, so you can walk around, out in the north, just walk around outside. If you're close to one of these things, or you're in the direction that the wind is going, the currents. Also, you can overdose on potassium iodine. This can lead to bad things happening to you. So if you are going to get a supply of it, know about taking it, and follow whatever the instructions are. Don't try to double up on it. Don't try to take more than you should, or a stronger dosage than you should. And I would consult with the doctor about that. So that's number one myth. Well, I hope Wilma recovers. God bless her. Yeah, people take things and they don't even dissolve them. They don't even dissolve. It goes through you and it doesn't dissolve. Or like the idea, you take medication. My wife takes all sorts of damn vitamins. Sometimes it makes her sick and she wants to, puke them up. I said, you're puking this crap up. Just take your prescription medication. Don't be. She takes all these vitamins. She thinks she's building herself up or whatever. She takes vitamins for different things. It's taking enough that crap, it makes you sick. I am drinking Nescafe Dark Roast. Mr. Whistle, welcome, Mr. Whistle. Thank you for coming in. Okay. So the second myth, and I had a discussion with Uncle Al about this, the idea of a garden in a number 10 can. I had told him I was planning on buying a number 10 can of garden seeds, a variety of garden seeds, and he said, don't do it. He said a lot of it's said it's a deadly con. A lot of the seeds are dead. They won't produce. It might be the wrong climate. A lot of times when you are gardening, you need to look at where you're at and the climate and what will grow where you're at. So you specifically want to acquire for what can grow in your area. Well, some of the stuff, it won't produce enough calories or food value to survive. And one thing that Uncle Al often says, and I believe you need some experience doing it, is he says it takes 5 years to learn to garden. I don't think it takes 5 years to learn to garden, but I do think that you're not going to be an expert until you've actually done it. And I'll never be an expert, but I can garden, and I learned to garden when I was a kid. I used to, with my mom. Here I am reminiscing and growing things, and it's fun, but it's hard work. And if you're older, it's hard work. Did I say it's hard work? It's hard work. It's not just throw some seeds out and come back in 3 months and you're ready to harvest. You know, you got stuff you got to do on a regular basis with that. Number 3, which anybody with any common sense should know, don't do it, is drinking pool water. Drinking pool water. You know, the water's not working. The pumps aren't working. And you're struggling to find water. Well, you don't want to go drink pool water. A lot of preppers think they can drink pool water. You can't. Does not remove heavy metals or toxic chemicals. So even if you got a filter, it's not going to get rid of what it needs to get rid of. And you can damage your kidneys, you know, and have, you know, organ failure, and that would be a slow and painful death. You don't want that. So you don't want to start drinking. Back in the days, in the past, more people died from drinking contaminated or bad water. Drinking bad water, drinking contaminated water killed untold numbers of people. So you don't want to do it. I like fruit trees. You know, the initial work is planting a fruit tree. Planting it, getting it established, watering it, making sure there's a little fertilizer, and allowing it the time to develop and grow. And then you start getting fruit. You get a limited quantity, and then you start getting more. And I'm sorry that the stream is rolling. I know you can hear what I'm saying, and I know that the chat is going, is cycling, but for whatever reason, the stream is coming in and out of rolling. I apologize about that. I'm really not happy with my internet service. And I am going to be getting new equipment. Number four topic, the idea of bugging out to the woods. The idea of bugging out to the woods. When you bug out, you're going from point A to point B. You know where you're going. You have a plan. You have a place you can go to. You're in the city, and you have a place in the country, an established place. You know where it's at. You have, your family has a place. Your best friend, who it's like a brother to you, has an established place which you've agreed that you will go to in an emergency. You know. That's bugging out. And you take what you need with you to get where you're going. You know, and when we talked about things to have in a carry bag or a bug out bag. And I can go over that stuff again. But the idea is, when you bug out, you're going from point A to point B. You're not doing Daniel Boone out in the woods. Going out to the woods is not camping. Living in the woods is hard, especially if you're older. And bugging out in the winter can be deadly, can be a death sentence. So bugging out, you're going from point A to point B. You've got what you need with you to get where you're going. You know, if the grid is down, if there's been an EMP or something's happened, you're going on foot, you're going on a bicycle, you're going on a tricycle, you're walking. One of the benefits of having like a bicycle or a tricycle, one of those big oversized ones, you can carry stuff on it. Back during World War II, the Germans had bicycle units. They could move, they could get along, they could go a long way. They could carry ammunition, they carry food, they carry water, they can carry equipment on that bike. As opposed to like, you got a 75, 80 pounds in a backpack. You know, if you're walking, it's going to tire you out a lot faster, even if you're in shape. You're not going to get as far. You can get a lot further on a bike. Bike, you pedal. SD Mountain Man, how are you doing? Thank you for coming in. Scott. I have not been over to your channel in a couple of days to see if you put anything up. I don't really look at my notifications consistently. I get so many of them. I miss stuff. But I've looked at a couple of Sean's videos. He did a Cast Iron Wednesday. I saw he did a he had a video, a haul today, where he went out shopping. Go see what he could find. He went to a sale, yard sale, I guess. It was raining, and then he went to the junkyard and he got some neat stuff. Thought he scored well with that camera he got. It's hard to keep up with what everybody's doing. Watched a couple of ration reviews. Hello, Devil Dog Prepper. Welcome. Get me that mailing address. Yeah, yard sales, junkyards, estate sales are good. You can score good stuff at an estate sale. Make sure you take money with you, cash. If you have to leave on foot and your bug out location is a long way, you might have to spend some time in the woods. Even if you have a bug out location, it is probably not very close to home. Well, good luck on that one. Good luck on that one. Yeah. You may have to go through some woods. You know, if you got a map, you know, you're out in the country, you're going through country, depending on where you're at. Sometimes you got these little one-lane dirt roads. It's almost like a path. And you may spend overnight. You may be overnight. I will tell you, you want some good hiking boots. You want to make sure you have your self-defense covered. Uncle Al did a video today, I think it was today, and he said people have been asking him about me talking about 20 gauge shotguns. And what should they do? Well, for one thing, I could do a response to Uncle Al's. I liked his video. I liked it. And I certainly agree the idea of having Remington, a Remington youth gun, pump gun, or a Mossberg, they're both real good. I gave my daughter a Remington pump. But you know, you can go to a lot of places and you can get a good 20 gauge shotgun for under $200. Pump shotgun. And if you're using it for birds, you know, you want to use it to shoot, you know, like bird hunting. 7-shot, 8-shot. You're doing turkeys, 5-shot, 6-shot. You're doing varmints, buckshot. Human varmints, buckshot. Triple lock buckshot. Put a sleeve on the buttstock. It'll hold 6 rounds. Most of the tubes will hold 4. You've got 10 rounds of ammunition or buckshot. Good for close encounters. Also, if you're talking about a bear or a large cat or a wolf or a wild dog, buckshot will take care of your problem. Buckshot will take care of your problem. I'm real big on buckshot. I'm real big on a 38 special. I like the 357 Magnum, and I like to carry 38 special plus P hollow points. My preferred carry is my mother's, may she rest in peace, Lady Smith, satin stainless steel, 357 Magnum, 3-inch barrel, cherry wood grips, and I've got a couple of speed loaders for it. We used to go with her back in the days to the, I had a membership to the sharpshooter in Corpus. It's a firing range. Would take her with me to the firing range. I mean, we're talking 30 some odd years ago. And she was a pretty good shot with a revolver. Back in the day with my father, she'd shoot 20 gauge. He shot 16 gauge, what they call, you know, Sweet 16. My uncle used to make fun of him because he shot 12 gauge. And he'd make fun of Dad about his 16 gauge. It's like a woman's gun. It's a woman's gun. Well, the thing about 16 gauge now is it's real hard to get ammunition. 410, people talk about a 410. Ammunition, you know, the shells for 410, twice what you pay for 20 gauge or 12 gauge. 12 gauge, 20 gauge, you don't have a problem getting it. It's a lot cheaper. It's expensive, but it's not near as expensive as trying to get like a 16 gauge or 410. You'll get more 410 than you'll get 16 gauge. Kaka Tai Tai Ba How you doing? Welcome. I'm not really a fan of green tomatoes. I love cherry tomatoes, and I do when I grow them. I do very well growing cherry tomatoes. I do very well growing cherry tomatoes. And you can grow cherry tomatoes. You can grow them, like arrow garden. Do an arrow garden inside arrow garden. Hydroponics. You can do really well with stuff like that. So, talked about bug outs. That's number 4. So, looking at the 5th myth is the idea of going gadgets happy. Uncle Al would probably say I'm gadgets happy. And I don't believe I am, because the stuff that I buy, and I buy lots of cheap stuff, but like the idea of needing to heat water, you cannot really beat Sterno. Well, yeah, propane, but and I've got propane. I've got several 20-pound tanks, and that's good. And especially like you're camping, propane stove is good. I've also got a bunch of the 1-pound little green bottles. But I like the Camp Heat and the Sterno because it's easy and lightweight. The little folding stoves are lightweight. You have a couple of them. One of them, you have a pot. You can be boiling water for your coffee. You can be boiling water for reconstituting something freeze-dried. You can also be using the hot water to heat a retort pouch. Whether you're talking about a military-style 8-ounce retort pouch, or you're talking about like a Hormel Complete or Dingy Moore or one of the various brands of 8-ounce, 9-ounce little pouches or little bowls that have a top that you can either leave it closed or you can vent it. Like when you microwave it, you got to vent it, so you got to open it up. But they're inexpensive. The Sterno is inexpensive, and I find them quite useful. One of the reasons I give them out to people. And it's good for kids. Here we go, Dick on Mixed Channel. Welcome, Dick on Mixed Channel. Thank you for coming in. Please leave a like to support the channel if you have not done so. It will be greatly appreciated. Well, as far as fuel sources, I would tell you to just, every paycheck, every retirement check, You know, you set aside to pay your bills, you have extra money. I would buy a few fuel canisters. Right now, those 1 pound um, propane bottles are $5 a piece. You go to Sam's, you go to a place, you get a 6-pack, it's $30. And I like the 12 packs of canned heat that I get over at Sam's. Right now, you pay about $30 for a 12 pack. Each of those cans will burn for 6 hours continuously. You light it, heat your water, put it out. Light it, heat your water, put it out. To me, there's bang for the buck. Also, right now, I was over at Walmart, and I got several of these 2-packs of the green Sterno, and $5 for 2 of them. A 2-pack for $5. I was over at Walmart. You can burn these inside. I got these because this is what I give out in my goodie boxes. But I normally burn these. I burn these. But I give out those. I think what I get is a better deal from the standpoint of how long they'll burn. And they're very effective for heating water. Now, the ultimate old school is wood burning. Having a wood burning stove or a smaller rocket type wood burning stove where you collect, you know, bark and limbs and such and use that. But I buy lots. When I go to Sam's, I used to go to Sam's once a month or so. I'll go buy at least one of those. I've got a bunch of them. I also will go and I buy more. I'll pick up more propane. The little one pounds. I pick them up. I've got a butane stove, and I've got several of these. I get these at Sam's. I'm about 45 minutes in. So, you know, talking about gadgets. Yeah, we've got lots of wood for our laid in cords of wood laid in for our fireplace. We don't get that much cold weather, but I've also got a fire pit out back. Wife likes to burn, and she'll burn wood. People will cut down trees, or they'll trim up trees and they'll cut it up, you know, and you've got pretty good chunks of wood. She'll stop and she'll grab on the side of the road. Jocelyn, welcome, Jocelyn. Thank you for coming in. So, you know, you look at stuff Some of this stuff is useless, like the idea of a wire saw, a crank radio. I actually believe this is useful to have for an emergency. You can get weather. Do I want to listen to this for music? No, but it does have a little flashlight. You can charge it USB. It does have, you can get the weather with it. Now, this is a cheapie, $18, life, what they call life gear. Here's the upgrade. And I keep saying I'm going to post this on my community wall. I have not done it, but I will. Less than $40. This is a really nice one. It's got a lot of good functions. It's got a it's got a lithium battery in it. It's Bluetooth. You can crank it. No, I don't think the world of the small compass. I've got a larger military style or grade compass. I like the fact that it's got an antenna. You get multi-bands. I like it. It does have a flashlight. I like it. It is crank. It's also got a solar cell. I like it. $40. I ordered one that should be coming in the next couple of days for my daughter, for her bag. I'll wind up getting this back from her, and I will forward it on to somebody. You go and buy it, it's like $18 with tax, it's like $20. I'll send it to somebody in a box. Michaela Missick, welcome Michaela Missick. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, my eyesight isn't worth anything right now. Hillbilly Josh Lofton. Hello, Hillbilly. Hillbilly Josh Loftus in the house. Don't worry about it, Josh. Appreciate you. Thank you for like 17. Shows I've got 18 likes. Thank you guys for the likes. 49 minutes in. Finish the coffee. I know it's not hot. I paid for that last swig. It's cold. I don't like cold coffee. Can't understand how anybody would drink lukewarm coffee. I need to do some videos with Sterno Camp heat, fuel tabs. I need to do some little videos showing how it's done, demonstrating. It's been a while since I've done anything like that. If you go back and check some of my really older stuff from years back, I did some of those. The idea of heating a retort pouch. FRHs, Flemish ration heaters, aren't worth a crap. Yes, you get fresh rations, and the U.S. Flemish ration heater is fine. But most of the stuff you get is several years old. Now, that's not saying it's bad. The food is fine. It'll last 20 years or more if you store it properly. But those Flemish ration heaters, they're not worth an SHIT once they're a few years old. Now, a trick you can use with an FRH is put some salt. You got a little salt packet, put that in, and then do the water. The salt helps the elements to work. But I don't. I normally I will heat in a pot. I'll heat my whatever my retort pouch is, my tortillas and whatever else. I'll heat them in a pot. So the idea is I've got one pot going to heat my stuff, and I've got another one going, and I'm basically heating water for my coffee or my tea, hot tea, coffee. And so we're going to have Amazon Prime on the 16th and 17th of July. That's when, if you want to buy something expensive, that's when to do it. July the 4th, there will be a lot of places like Bouge RV. There'll be places that'll have sales. Look for the sales, and if you want to buy something expensive, that's when you do it. I'll look at what Bouge RV has. With Prime, I get free delivery, and I'll compare some. I know what I expect to pay, and I'm planning on getting another 12-volt refrigerator freezer, and I'm going to get 3 100 amp lithium batteries, and we'll see what sort of deal I can get for those. I'm getting rid of the AGMs, and I'm going to upgrade to the lithiums. The difference being, AGM, you can't draw them down more than 50% or you damage them. They don't last near as long, and they start develop. You lose charge ability way sooner. Whereas with lithium, you get a good LiPo battery. It'll still be putting out more than 80% after 10 years, and you can drain them down completely without damaging them. So I will be getting Mimi's Place. Welcome, Mimi's Place. Welcome, Holly Ivans. Welcome, ladies. Thank you for coming in. That's just fine, little lone prepper. The thing about, I love barbecuing. The idea of using charcoal, mesquite to barbecue is great. Cutting wood for I've got an old school pit, heavy as anything. One of my students, my salutatorian, when I was over at Yorktown, my salutatorian made me a pit. Big, heavy duty one. Took like 3 people to move the damn thing. That's how big it was and how heavy it was. And great for barbecuing. Great for, you use charcoal, you use wood, mesquite, and great for barbecuing. But yeah, they'll smell it a mile off. They will smell. The other thing is, yeah, you've got several bags of charcoal. Those bags of charcoal are going to run out. Then you're basically going to be using wood, and you got to go find the wood. How much do you have? Nothing wrong with cooking with wood. Nothing wrong with that. But your neighbors are going to know because they're going to smell it. The other thing is, like, if you're using a propane, if you're using propane or using gas, and you've got a generator, it's going to make a lot of noise. It's going to be loud. Everybody's going to hear it. Everybody's going to know you're using it. Now, in a short-term grid down situation, like after a hurricane, you're without power for a few days, nothing wrong with that. But in an end of the world as we know it, Teowaki, or you know, major league long-term grid down. You don't want to be doing that. You're going to attract, there's, oh, he's got stuff. And you're going to have people coming over. Yeah, first week would be okay. And that's why I say the idea of using in your, you know, in your basically heating smaller stuff. You can be basically have water in a pot, and you can be heating a can. You can be heating water for coffee, tea, freeze dried, reconstituting. You can, like chili. You want to heat a can of chili. Just put the can in the pot and let it get hot, and then, you know, have a good glove, something to absorb the heat, and then use a can opener, and, you know, and you want to make sure you can vent it, but the idea being, go ahead and heat it in the can. Like they'll boil cans. I'll get that comment later, Joseph. It popped up on my screen and then it disappeared. I'll look at it. Sure, drop your link. Jocelyn, drop your link. Anybody wants to drop a link, drop your link. Feel free to. $12 in the house. 18 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel if you have not done so. So Hurricane Burl is Category 4. Once you get to Category 4, that's at least 135-mile-an-hour winds. It's out in the Atlantic heading towards the Gulf of Mexico. It's going to come in. It probably will continue strengthening. It will weaken when it goes over land. Like if it goes through some islands and such, it'll weaken a little bit. And then when it gets back over water, in this warm water, it'll start strengthening again until it hits wherever it's going to hit. And it's a pretty good sized storm. And it's going to cause somebody a lot of grief. It will cause somebody a lot of grief. So we are in hurricane season. It started June the 1st. It'll run through November the 1st. And as I had said, and this might be considered a gadget, but I like inexpensive watches in case I damage them. I've got a nice watch that I wear. This is a Invicta. I've got a nice Invicta. It's a couple $100 watch. Now, is that a super expensive watch? No, it's not a super expensive watch, but it's a nice watch. And I just bought a Smith & Wesson and it came with 3 wristbands. It has the day of the month. So this is the 30th, so it's set for the 30th. I set on the 30th. And I can see the screen. It's a 38 millimeter. It's not a huge watch, but it wears nicely. I paid $32.41 for it. $32.41. Tax, title, and license delivered to me. And it is a men's military watch. It's got 3 bands. So it's got a tan band, It's got a black band, and it's got the green band. And if I want to look prepper, I can put on wear this on my wrist. And this is cordage. I could wear that with my watch. My father always wore these old style watches back in the day. You know, Dad's been gone for almost 50 years. But I can remember his watches, and I inherited one of them. Old school. And I like old school. $32.41 Amazon. And I sometimes buy stuff just to have them. You know, just I'll buy, but no, I'll be wearing that. And I won't feel bad if I get it messed up. I can always replace it for $32, $33. That's not going to break the bank if I mess it up. Please feel free to drop your link. I have no problem with people dropping their links. 8 in the house, 18 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel. It'll be greatly appreciated. So I'm sitting at 1,609 subscribers, 17.5K views for the last cycle, 531 hours watch time. You know, I'm waiting for notification of monetization. I may eventually get a check from them 10 years from now. And my last live had 84 views. The last live, 84 views. Current short started this with 361, and my last video, which is Mom of 4 Boys, 16 subscriber goodie box, is 59. If you haven't watched that one, please watch it and leave a like. If you want to be able to qualify for my next subscriber giveaway, and I'm still saying it's going to happen before I go back to work in a month, or a little over a month from now, please leave a like and a supportive comment on each of the last 5 videos I release. Now, I may only release 1 or 2 more videos between now and then, but I usually release them as a premiere, and when you release it as a premiere, any comments that you leave during the premiere disappear. You got to come back after the premiere is concluded, and you've got to leave a comment. Those will show. Now, the watch time and the likes, they stay, but the comments do not. You've got to come back after the premiere. Same thing with the live stream. When this live stream is over, all the comments that were in the stream, poof. One of the reasons why I write down comments to see who came in, and that way, if I do a community wall post, I will, you know, bless them, and I will shout them out. Uncle Al shouted me out today, and I took a screenshot. He was holding up a card with my name on it, and I took a screenshot of it. I thought I'd put it up on my community wall. And he was talking about people were asking questions about my comments about a 20 gauge shotgun. Well, hell, if you know you don't mind the kick and you want a 12 gauge shotgun, have at it. No problem. Double up bucks, way to go. But for older people, ladies, youths, me, I like 20 gauge. And I load it with triple up buck. Gave one to my daughter. I gave her a Remington, and it's got an 18-inch barrel, pump, nice wood stock. Got a sleeve with 6 extra rounds of shells on it. And it's the way to go, to me. But you want 12 gauge? Have at it. 12 gauge and double up buck. Have a good sling for it. Put a sleeve on the end of it with some extra rounds. Or you can have a bandolier. I've got a bandolier that I could put on that, you know, double up, I mean a triple up buck for 20 gauge, just 20 gauge, just triple up buck. The military can openers are cool, yeah. They're selling them right now, those little P58s, those little military ones. The thing about that is, if you're going to open one can, fine. You got several people with you and you got to open up several cans, you damn sure better have something else. $2. I paid $2. I bought 5 of them. And it's got a bottle opener. Also, you know, if you're bugging out, you want to have a weapon with you. So if you don't want to have a rifle or a shotgun when you're out in the boonies or when you're traveling, have a good pistol. A snub nose 38, snub nose 357. I like 3-inch barrel, 4-inch barrel. I don't have got a problem with 4-inch barrel. I've got a 4-inch Smith model 686. I like stainless steel. You know, something you can have a couple of speed loaders with. You can conceal those. Have a good holster. Wear it on your belt. Have a little jacket to cover it. That way they don't know you're carrying it. Hello, Gina. All right, run, Black Widow, run. Flee. Gina Yonke, welcome. My friend who is an educator. You know, I'm still in the process of sending out goodie boxes. I've got a couple of people that I told them send me your mailing addresses, and neither one of them had. I've been collecting items to put in them. The goodie box that I sent Mom of 4 boys, and it went to Ohio. It was like $18 to send it. I'm sending out 1 or 2 boxes a month to people. I may start a second round with different stuff in it and go back to the people I've been sending them to, the people who support me. There's still people here that I haven't sent anything to that come in regularly. I really don't want to be in the position of sending something halfway around the world, because it would probably cost me over $100 just to send a box. over to the Philippines, and I feel bad about that, because there are a few people from the Philippines that watch me, or from Taiwan. But it's just outrageous what they charge to ship stuff. I paid over $60 to send a box to Claudette right across the border in Canada. And if I'd sent it here to the United States at the time, it'd probably been about $15, $16. That's been a while back. Hey, Gina, did I not give you standard moderator? Dag nabbit. Here you are, your standard moderator now. Sorry for that. 19 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel. It'll be greatly appreciated. So the topic for today was 5 survival myths that would kill you. One being potassium iodine tablets. You really want to think about, getting those. And you want to basically follow a doctor's instructions. Don't buy garden in a number 10 can. Order seeds, get seeds, locally. Make sure you get stuff that you can grow, and you can grow stuff. They're not dead. Look at climate. You look at when it says you plant for your area. Doing starter plants. 3, don't drink pool water. It's got a lot of heavy chemicals and stuff in it. It'll mess your kidneys up, and you'll die of organ failure. You don't want to do that. Number 4 is bugging out to the woods. You do not want to bug out to the woods. The idea of bugging out is you go from point A to point B. You already know where you're going. You're not just going into the woods. And then number 5 is gadgets. Don't be gadget happy. Make sure you get stuff that you can use. Did I send you an email? No. I asked you to send me an email. Look at one of my videos. I always put my email address in them. Send me an email with address. I've been waiting for it. Well, we've talked about a few things this evening. There will be another, where should you go? Well, chances are, if there's something happens, you're going to stay where you're at. Unless you've got a place to go to, you stay where your home is. That's where your supplies are. It's where your food is. It's where your weapons should be. Hopefully you're not in a target zone. Hopefully you're not in an urban area that's a target. If you're able to at some point move into a rural area, make sure you're way out in a suburb, or make sure you're in a little smaller place. A lot better living, a lot better living. Also, if you're in a blue city, if you're in a blue state, and you can move someplace that's red, move someplace red. You'll be in a lot better situation. Well, from what I can tell, Melinda, you're not in a target area. I don't think in Louisiana we got a bunch of targets. Maybe Baton Rouge. Maybe. Maybe New Orleans. Maybe. I don't think so, unless they're trying to wipe us out. I don't think anywhere around Louisiana would be a target. But you do have to take into consideration, society starts having issues because of looters and roving bands, the zombie apocalypse type situation. You better be armed. You better be able to defend yourself, or you better have somebody who's armed that can defend you. That's where you better have a grandkid around, or a kid around who's good with a gun. I can remember my mom back in the day. She's in her 70s and 80 years old, and she had her 357 on her nightstand next to her bed. I wouldn't want to mess with her, you know. Yeah, the idea of bugging in, that's what you do. That's what I would do. And I'm not in an area that would be a target. I'm in between three targets. If it was really a massive nuclear war, you got the port of Corpus Christi a couple of hours south of me. You got Houston a couple hours north of me. You got San Antonio a couple hours to the west of me. I'm 20 some odd miles inland, about 100 feet up as far as elevation is concerned, so I don't think I have to worry about a tidal wave hitting me from a storm. But you know, so I'm thinking I'd be pretty good. So the idea is you plan for what you can plan for. You try to be supplied for what you can be supplied for. And you prepare. Every day when you get up, thank God for the day. When you get to be my age, you start thinking you might not get up. Say the Lord's Prayer, take your medication, drink your coffee or your hot tea or whatever. Try to stay active. Eat well if you can. It doesn't cost a lot to eat decent food, Oatmeal, a couple of packets of instant oatmeal or ready oats, heat it up, put a little bit of honey in it. You can use some milk or powdered milk, use freeze-dried milk and mix it up, You can start practicing your preps right now. The idea you can start using stuff that you're going to use. You're going to eat when, bad, eat it now. Get used to it. Make sure it's stuff that you can eat and then buy it. Build up a supply of your medication. I've got a little over 5 month supply of my medication. Yeah, I should have more. I'm working on it. At some point, I'll probably be cutting a check for some, because insurance will only cover 3 months at a time. And it can get very expensive if you're paying out of pocket for it. Yeah, we have a farmer's market every Saturday here down Navarro. You can go and you can get stuff. I get a lot of salad kits and vegetables and lettuce and such, and I make salads. I buy ready-made salads. I'm real big on brown rice. I like brown rice. I like white rice. I like beans. I like chili. Yeah, I can eat a nice meal. Matter of fact, I'm going to do another meal and then I'll do a short of it. $6. It's a good meal. I've got all sorts of. I get cases of Hormel Completes. I'll open another case for a different variety, and I'll show y'all. Yeah, it's nice to have good. You want to know what's around you. You want to know what's around you. Who's around you? What are you going to be dealing with? If there's a problem, what are you dealing with? It's good to know that. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Life is good, but it is what it is. These little cliches. We mentor. That was one of my topics recently. Mentoring. You mentor the next generation. You mentor younger people. You mentor amateurs that don't know what you're doing. It's like the idea back in the day, somebody would apprentice. You'd have an apprentice. And for a period of time, they would study under you. You were a master at your craft. You take somebody who didn't know what they were doing and you teach them. They're your apprentice. Eventually they can become independent and they do what they do. Back in the day, everything was handmade. Clothes was handmade. Shoes were handmade. Leather goods. Everything was handmade. People made pots. Drinking vessels. Everything was handmade. Tools, smiths were prized. If society fell apart, it'd go back to the way things were a couple hundred years ago. Got to think about that. Learn, get your training so that you can do first aid. Doesn't cost you anything. Go take a first aid class over at the community college or at the county hospital, American Red Cross. Learn to do CPR. Learn to do the Heimlich maneuver. Learn how to use an EpiPen for somebody, an AED. Learn how to triage somebody if they break an arm or if they're bleeding, how to use a pressure bandage, what to do safely. I will be back tomorrow with another edition of Coffee Talk about 7 p.m. If you haven't watched my shorts, please watch my shorts. Look at that latest video if you haven't watched that video. I'm going to try to place something on my community wall. I appreciate your support. I'm trying to support the people who support me. I've been watching lots of shorts. I've been watching videos. I've been running live streams. I'll continue to do it. Whenever I do, I always leave a like. I usually let you know what like number it is, but I always leave a like. I always say I left a like. And I always leave comments so you know it was me. Everybody, please have a blessed day. And we'll have another episode of Coffee Talk tomorrow, hopefully, if the Lord's willing. Bye-bye. Thank you.